Rugby in Wales is more than just a game. It's part of its national identity with rich history spanning over 100 years. In a landscape where once echoing crowds filled the air, a different reality is emerging. With Welsh rugby in a crisis on and off the pitch, and the national football team on the brink of its third major international tournament in 6 years, should there be a cause for concern for rugby fans across Wales that the game is falling behind? Join me as I explore the unravelling fabric of Welsh Grassroots Rugby and speak to those at the heart of the community game trying their best to keep it alive.
Rugby in Wales matters, but after a few years of turmoil, Welsh rugby finds itself in a challenging position, hanging a dark cloud over the game. Following an investigation which found a toxic culture within the Welsh Rugby Union, former CEO Nigel Walker admitted that Welsh rugby is facing an existential crisis. And at the national level, Wales have disappointed. They came last in this year's Six Nations tournament, failing to win a single match for the first time since 2003. And with 3 or 4 professional teams sitting comfortable at the bottom of the URC table amid concerning financial issues, these are certainly tough times for Welsh rugby. This has left the future of grassroots rugby uncertain, with recent seasons revealing the consequences of the failures and mismanagement of those at the top.
Community game, it's probably not fair to say that it's dying. It's probably a bit hyperbole. Certainly parts of it are. Facilities investment is massively lacking within Welsh rugby. There was over 400 games cancelled last year. Players start dropping out. I've never seen a year like it. People do lose interest. I'm not talking from a spectator view here, but just from a playing point of view.
It comes as no surprise that interest in the game has dropped in recent years. The 2022 annual report described the community game as being in rude health. And a quick Google search would have you believe that football is now the most popular sport in Wales. And statistics from a 2022 report published by Nielsen on UEFA's behalf would back this up. They found that for the first time ever recorded, football is now the #1 sport in Wales, with more people participating in football than rugby. Most notably, the report found that over half as many adults play football and only 14% of children opt to play rugby in Wales.
Are things as really as bad as they say about Welsh rugby? Well, to find out, I've come to watch Brecon take on Trebanos as both teams look to get their first win of 2024.
Before the game, I caught up with a man who knows more than most about Welsh rugby, having played at every level the game has to offer, former Wales international Christian Dacey.
In terms of the WRU and where they are, I think everyone knows really. It's well documented, the changes in money and the changes in personnel. From where we were 10 years ago to now is completely different. For us to lose any grass rugby really is wrong. It does come down to participation. There's a lot of teams that are struggling to put teams together. It's a massive part of Welsh rugby, and it's a massive part of towns, especially like Brecon. People really get behind the team. For me, I want to see rugby developing and growing from where we are now to what it can be, and hopefully with the right investment and the right people leading the charge, we can push the game forward.
Despite all the talks about the decline of Welsh rugby, it doesn't seem to be apparent here in Brecon, where the community have come together to support the players on the pitch.
Perhaps that is because one of those leading the charge and trying to grow the game for the local communities is Angharad Woodland, fixture and membership secretary for Brecon RFC, who has taken up the role as a volunteer.
The community game will be in the same health as the WRU, and we all know what kind of health they've been in. Community level's always had local support. It always will. There'll always be family support, effectively. When you get to the level that Brecon are currently at, you attract more than just the family support. I think we have a strong local following. It could be better. It really could. We're trying to work on that at the moment. It's the lifeblood of the community. There's always been talk at the WRU that when boys particularly get to 15, 16 years old, there's basically a cliff edge and numbers drop enormously at that point. So the WRU's been working very hard for years and years and years and years to address that. None of it's really been terribly successful.
One of the schemes implemented by the Welsh Rugby Union to combat player shortages is a Hub Officer programme, aimed to engage young people in educational settings and encourage more people to participate in rugby.
I enjoy playing myself, but I also enjoy seeing people having fun, getting involved, all the children who perhaps don't play rugby as much or not as good getting involved. So I do all curricular lessons with both boys and girls. On top of that, I also have to do community hours, so that's working outside of the school. I get based in a club, which is obviously mine, is Lincolnshire High School. So I go up there, offer my expertise, help them out, take a few sessions. I go to local primary schools in that area to promote rugby at such a young age, so when they come to high school they know a bit about it, and then it makes it easier for that transition. It is really important because they might not be the best player, but it gives them a sense of a family, something a bit different, because in school some people don't like the academic side, but when it comes to rugby, they enjoy it.
Grassroots rugby is vital. For someone like professional rugby player Jacob Beetham, it is where their rugby journey began, having grown up playing for Brecon from the age of 7.
For me, it's kind of where everyone starts, isn't it? It's so important. I still look back at those times when I was younger, playing for Brecon and coming through the system, and I'd have really kind of, had fond memories of everything. There's always like that kind of maybe dream or hope of it, it'd be really cool to play professional rugby one day, but you're never really like properly thinking about that when you're younger. You're just trying to play with your mates. But it's definitely really important because that's where you learn all your initial kind of skills, and it's such a good sport. And even now, like, being 22 and in the rugby squad at Cardiff, it's a real fun environment, although it's really tough and it's quite grueling at times. It's just a fun sport to be around.
Rugby in Wales is undoubtedly changing, but whatever decisions are made regarding its future, the importance of grassroots rugby cannot be understated. Welsh Rugby desperately needs to find new ways to keep players and supporters engaged, to put rugby back to the top where it belongs.